and welcome to another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy here in Miami, Florida. Happy Friday, guys. Happy Social Friday. Feliz Viernes Social a todas mis amistades en Puerto Rico. Happy Social Friday to everyone here in the States. Enjoy the weekend. We have something going on tomorrow. We have a couple of events. I believe we have that set of fight or that stay busy fight from Teofimo Lopez. We'll see how he reacts to coming off 2 losses. In my opinion, the opinion of all the experts, Teofimo Lopez has lost his last 2 outings against technical fighters like Jermaine Ortiz and Sandor Martin. All right. He said after his last fight that he wanted to fight somebody that would come forward, throw punches. However, he was avoiding Matias like the plague. And now he's talking a lot of crap after Matias' upset loss against Liam Paro. Right. Let's see how he does tomorrow. We'll gauge how well he does against a C-level fighter, somebody that has 7 losses on his record. It would be really surprising to me and to a lot of people if Teofimo Lopez doesn't get Claggett out of the way and somehow has a problem trying to put Claggett away or having any issues with Claggett's style. All right, it's a weird style. I've seen it. High guard coming forward, has an awkward way of fighting, but we'll see tomorrow. And what I'm actually waiting to watch tomorrow, I think I'm gonna be paying too much attention to something that seems like a long shot for Claggett. Although I would be thrilled to see Teofimo Lopez on his ass after all the shit he's been talking lately, him and his dad. But anyway, one I'm really looking forward to is the Bam Rodriguez versus Gallo Estrada. It's going to be a Mexican war, and I just can't wait to see that one. Old Lion versus the Young Lion. Old Lion's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Young Lion's got the speed and ability and footwork on his side. However, he also has punching power, but he's coming up from a lower weight class to fight somebody that is well established, that has fought better opposition, legendary fighters. So it's going to be a hard one. I see this as a 50-50 fight, and I see an edge for the younger line. However, I would not be surprised if Gallo Estrada somehow surprises the up-and-comer, the rising star, Bam Rodriguez, and puts him on his ass. So this should be a good one. I don't know if Bam Rodriguez is going to have the power and ability to stop Gallo Estrada, who's been through a lot of wars. So that is the one I'm actually looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to that farce between Teofimo Lopez and Steve Claggett. But today we're going to talk a little bit about what happens after a champion loses. And I have here written down a few notes that I took in order to try to see which is the repercussions and the post-fight obstacles that someone who was a world champion, somehow loses to somebody that was the underdog, and there's an upset in the fight and he loses his title. Something like what just happened between Uriel Matias and Liam Paro. So this is my breakdown, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to examine how champion life changes. Okay. First, we're going to address the emotional and psychological impact that a loss to an underdog, a surprising loss, an upset, affects somebody like Uriel Matias, somebody like Adrian Broner when he fought Chino Maidana, somebody like Mike Tyson, who was upset by Buster Douglas. You know, some of these guys that were upset by an underdog and lost their titles, how some of them reacted to this surprising loss, all right? And we're going to evaluate that today, all right? So fighters often experience shock and deep disappointment. This is the initial reaction that can lead to significant self-reflection and some cases self-doubt. Losses can either demotivate a fighter or ignite a renewed sense of determination to improve and reclaim their status. The added pressure from fans and media can intensify emotional stress, making it even more challenging to cope with the defeat. As you all know, fans' responses range from unwavering support to harsh criticism, impacting the fighter's morale. As you know, Matias has not said anything after the fight. I don't think he has come out and actually expressed what happened during the fight. And I know there's a lot of criticism by fans, media, and other people. And I'm waiting to hear Matias' side of the story, all right? As you know, media reactions can shape public perception. Through articles, interviews, and commentaries, positive coverage can maintain morale, while negative press can add to the emotional burden. Social media provides immediate and often unfiltered feedback, amplifying both support and criticism. So social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, people are coming up with different theories of what happened. As you all know, some people say he threw the fight, that he took a dive. Some other people said that he bet against himself. Some other people said that he was drinking the night before. So there's a lot of controversy and there's a lot of speculation regarding what happened with Matias. And until Matias comes out and explains and talks to everybody, like I mentioned before, and tells exactly what happened, speculation is going to continue. So what are the career implications? All right. The ranking and title status. All right. You know that he lost his title and the ranking. Now I believe he's ranked number 6 at the 140-pound division, according to Ring Magazine. So a loss affects the fighter's ranking and the status of their title, potentially leading to the loss of championship belt, which is what happened with Suriel. Future fight negotiations become more complex, with potential rematch clauses and mandatory challengers influencing the fighter's career path. So Suriel shot himself in the foot here. As you all know, Eddie Hearn says there's no rematch clause. I don't know why his promoter and his manager didn't have one in there. I don't see how this was a mandatory by IBF. I haven't heard anything from anybody or from the IBF saying fighting Lee Amparo was going to be a mandatory fight for Suriel Matias. And it boggles the mind how there was no rematch clause just in case an upset like this would take effect, all right? So future fight negotiations, that's going to be a hard, tough road for Suriel Matias to try to get some fights with some of the other fighters that he was talking about. Forget about unification because he doesn't have a title. Forget about the rematch because there's no rematch clause. Forget about fighting somebody like Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis is no longer interested in fighting Suriel because it's a high risk, low reward type of fight where Suriel is no longer a title holder. All right. So let's look at promotional and contractual considerations. Promoters play a significant role in reshaping the fighter's career post-defeat, influencing the opportunities and support available to them. I already spoke about that, and Eddie Hearn doesn't seem too thrilled at the fact that, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is thrilled that Lee Amparo is now the champion. So we'll get to see how Eddie Hearn reacts after this upset loss that Matias had right in front of his public after talking so much smack. And that's why you have to sometimes, not sometimes, but always be humble and never underestimate your opponent. Okay? So there's a couple of things Suriel Matias and other fighters like him who have lost, like, Gary Antoine Russell recently. and some other fighters that had lost their titles or lost the opportunity go back to the line when they were set for a title eliminator or a title contention. Training strategy adjustments, all right? Performance evaluation. Detailed review of fight footage helps identify tactical errors, missed opportunities, and areas where the opponent had the upper hand. Assessment of physical condition and mental state during the fight can highlight areas that need improvement. So, obviously, after the fight, I don't think that Seguridad is gonna look at anything right now. Maybe he has looked at footage. I don't know if Banda has actually looked at any of the footage from the fight with Lee Amparo, has been able to identify where everything went wrong. Like I said before, I don't think Banda did anything that affected Seguridad Matias' performance. I really don't see that. I think it's all on Seguridad Matias' shoulders. His performance, not listening to the corner. There is some questions regarding his stamina. There are some questions regarding what happened that night, lack of output and footwork and things like that actually make you think and speculate. And that's why all these theories and all these other comments and speculations surrounding the Matias fight have been coming out of the woodwork, all right? So there's a couple of things that can happen after this fight. We can talk about training regiment changes, all right? Training routines may be adjusted to focus on identifying weaknesses such as technique, conditioning, sparring with different opponents. New techniques or strategies may be introduced to address deficiencies exposed by the loss. So was it that Seguridad Matias' camp was not as hard and tough as the other ones? Was it that Seguridad Matias was overconfident? Was it that Banda didn't have the correct or the right sparring partners? What happened? And we need to get to the bottom of this. And these are things that not only us as fans, but Banda, his corner, his trainers, Seguridad Matias trainers, and Seguridad Matias himself have to analyze and see moving forward what went wrong, right? So trainer and camp changes. Fighters might reconsider the effectiveness of their trainer and decide to switch to a new training camp to a better preparation and strategy. A change in environment can rejuvenate a fighter's career by providing fresh perspectives. I don't see how Matias could consider this something that is his plan moving forward, trying to change his trainer, training methods and whatnot. I think everything has worked so far for Matias. He has had a great career so far. I think we all have bad nights. Fighters have bad nights, off nights, and this might just be that. So just addressing this, like I said before, some of the things, the elements that went wrong in this fight should be the way to go, all right? I don't think that a change of trainer, change of training techniques, maybe emphasize a little bit more on defense and more offense, which is crazy because that's not the Matias that we know, the Matias we saw a few weeks ago. All right, now let's look at the financial consequences. All right, reduced fight purses moving forward. Losing a title can result in lower earnings from subsequent fights, as championship bouts typically offer purses. All right, so none of that for Matias. Sponsorship and endorsements. I don't think that Matias had any sponsorship or endorsements. Maybe he had some small ones in Puerto Rico. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that he's still going to be having some type of sponsorship. People still believe in him and think that he can come back. Like I said before, these are things that have to be talked out in the open. These are things that Matias has to come out and explain to the public and his supporters and his fans what went wrong. Staying quiet and not addressing this issue is something that is not going to help Matias' career, all right? Marketability, a fighter's marketability can decline, affecting their ability to draw large audiences and command high pay-per-view sales. I don't think Matias has ever had a pay-per-view event. Obviously, his defeat against Liam Paro is going to affect that type of revenue stream coming in. If he would have beat Liam Paro the way that everybody was expecting by a stoppage, that could have been something that could have been a potential money-making type of avenue for Matias, like fighting somebody like Teofimo Lopez or one of these other champions like Pitbull Cruz. That would have created a lot of interest, and people would actually have paid for something like that. All right, public perception and legacy. All right, we're going to talk about legacy impact. A loss can significantly impact a fighter's legacy, potentially damaging their reputation and historical standing. Well, compare champions who rebounded from losses to those whose career declined, showing different paths taken post-defeat. All right, Matias has said he doesn't care about legacy in the past. He's more interested in making an earning, a high salary earning for his family, retiring early. That's going to be hard now. After his defeat, it is something that is going to take a lot longer. He's going to have to be able to fight for another championship and actually have a string of convincing victories in order to gain that status again, and people get serious about fighting Matias once again. Maybe he'll become a mandatory again in the future for the IBF or another organization. We'll see whether he moves forward or moves up to a new division, 147 pounds. So he's got several options there. The main thing he has to do is to continue winning in impressive fashion, and he'll have an opportunity to become champion again, and maybe unifying and maybe making more money. However, it's up to him how impacted psychologically he has been after this defeat. All the comments, everything that's been going on regarding Subriel Matias post-fight has created rumors of all sorts. And like I said before in my previous episodes, these are things that have to be talked out in the open by Subriel Matias and his camp. Banda has mentioned a few things about Matias coming back and becoming a champion again. And Matias has mentioned that it's all on him. It was his problem and his issue and his fault that he didn't follow instructions in the corner. All right. So as you all know, media narrative, the media's portrayal of the loss influences public perception and can shape a fighter's legacy either positively or negatively. And as far as legacy, he said it before, he's not interested in that. He's interested in making money. Okay, physical and medical considerations. There was no injuries. There's nothing. If you look at the fight, you can see that Subriel Matias was not ever hurt. He was never shaken up by any of the punches from Liam Paro. Liam Paro did not hurt him at all. I mean, I see a lot of Australian fans going nuts and talking all kinds of crap, talking about Subriel Matias getting an ass whooping. But in all honesty, it was more Matias' fault of not letting his hands go, not cutting up the ring, getting tired and all that stuff, instead of Liam Paro's effectiveness. And I think Liam Paro did a few things that were borderline illegal, and constantly holding, hitting behind the head, fighting, coming in forward with his head down, headbutted Subriel Matias several times. That's the reason why Subriel Matias has a little puffy eye. So these are things that Subriel Matias should have adjusted to. I don't know if Banda and Subriel's corner actually addressed all these things as they were going on, but there was a little bit of dirty fighting there on Liam Paro's side, and eventually, all that is water under the bridge now. And these are things that Suriel Matias is going to have to look at: the psychological part, the legacy, the money. Now I'm going back to the beginning of the end of the line, trying to get as many fights. See who wants to fight him. That's the issue right now. Who wants to fight Suriel Matias? All right. So these are some of the points that I wanted to talk to you guys about. In summary, let's recap the main points discussed in this episode, emphasizing the multifaceted impact of a championship loss, the reflection on resilience, reflect of the resilience and determination required for champions to bounce back from a loss, and the bottom line, it's up to Matias now to fight as much as he can. He is 32 years old. He doesn't have a long career ahead of him as far as years. I think he has fought with a style that has also not a long shelf life. You want to see it that way. So we're all waiting to see what Matias' decision is moving forward. As you all know, he's not the only one that has been upset in the last months or so. We saw Devin Haney lose. Well, not even lose. He got his ass whooped like big time. All right. So a lot of people are blaming. Devin Haney fans obviously are blaming Ryan Garcia and the PDs and all that stuff. The fact of the matter is that this guy almost got stopped. He was dropped multiple times. He was hurt. He looked at. He had no answer to Ryan Garcia's lead hook. So how has Devin Haney reacted afterwards? He's acted like a little spoiled brat, trying to get his way. He believes that keeping his own is something that is gonna somehow erase the memory of such a devastating loss in the eyes and minds of all the fans that saw the fight. So that's something psychological that Devin Haney is gonna have to work on. Is obviously he financially is taking a big hit, financially, emotionally, ranking wise. I don't think that he should be in a pound for pound list anymore. He was severely exposed by a limited fighter, by somebody that I have always said is not an elite fighter, Ryan Garcia, and you can't, by using PDs, make a B-level fighter into an elite fighter. All right, you can make him stronger, a little faster, and whatnot. But if you look at Ryan Garcia's fight, you could still see all the holes in his game, all the deficiency, how ineffective he was at times. He could have been able to close the deal and knock out Devin Haney on several occasions. He didn't do so. But all in all, what we're talking about here is how upsets can actually change a fighter's course, a fighter's plans, a fighter's economic incomes, a fighter's legacy. All these factors that actually a fighter like Suriel Matias and a fighter like Devin Haney were looking forward to. I mean, these were avenues, and there was so much potential money to be made if they would have won these fights. However, that's all vanished, and it's gone up in air, gone up in smoke, and now we're gonna have to wait and see when the dust settles what happens with both of these fighters. But guys, this is what happens when a fighter loses, when a fighter is upset, when a fighter actually comes overconfident and loses to an underdog. What's going to happen next? Let's all wait and see. Like I said before, activity is the name of the game for Suriel Matias. It is the the solution to all his issues. Now, who is he gonna fight? Is he gonna fight just pushovers and tomato cans, or is he gonna be able to? His promoters are gonna be able to find some legitimate contenders and put Suriel Matias to the test to see if he really wants to continue advancing his boxing career, or in the worst case scenario, will Suriel Matias decide to hang him up and do something else? That would be really shameful. That would really be something that that would not only affect him emotionally for the rest of his life, but you can all see after Adrian Broner's defeat, some of these other fighters' defeat, Amir Khan and so many others, have their career have spiraled out of control and declined, and these guys have never been the same after these defeats. So hopefully we'll pray for Suriel Matias. Let's see what happens to Devin Haney. Let's see what happens with Gary Antoine Russell after losing. A lot of upsets, and a lot of upsets can happen, and I would not be surprised if tomorrow evening Teofimo Lopez also loses his title. So that would also turn the 140-pound division another curveball, more champions, more incredible upsets happening this year that I can't remember in the past. But anyway, guys, this is all for now. I hope you have an excellent Social Friday. Enjoy the fights tomorrow. But until next time, this is Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride, saying hasta la vista. God bless you all, and peace.